cosmic family, and welcome. I'm Charlie Wild, and in this channel we speak about everything that has to do with spirituality and this awakening and ascension that planet Earth is going through. So today I wanted to jump on really quickly and share with you a little message that came to me months ago. Months ago I woke up and before I went to bed I'd ask Seven for some messages, like, what do I really need to know right now? What's happening? What's going on? And I woke up with this message of the sun cycle will change everything. And I thought, what does this even mean? And of course, I had to sort of cross-check and just really notice, what is this message about? And the sun is a magnificent energy source for planet Earth. It is the energy source for planet Earth. And the sun has cycles. And the sun has these mini cycles. They last about 11 years. And we are in one right now. And the cycle that we are in right now will peak around 2024 and 2026. So what does this mean for us? This sun cycle is different than the other sun cycles. Right now, there are solar events that are unfolding and more to come that are quite intense. And the sun cycle, the peaking of the sun cycle will mean that the energy transmitted to planet Earth, the sun affects more than the weather and radioactivity. It affects the magnetic field of planet Earth, and the magnetic field affects everything else, including our thoughts, emotions, our physical bodies, and our weather. So the external weather of nature and our internal weather as well. So during this time, between 2024 and 2026, as the solar cycle magnifies, as the solar activity magnifies, so will the activity on planet Earth. Of course, on this channel, I like to bring in the spiritual perspective of everything, because the scientific aspect you can research on your own. So what does this mean spiritually? What it means is that, and you might have heard me speak about this a lot in the last couple of years, that energy is speeding up. What this means is that the thoughts and emotions and visions that we have, that we cultivate within ourselves, they'll begin to manifest quicker and quicker and quicker. So it's even more important now than ever to pay good attention to what's going on within us. If you've got issues, you must address them now. Spiritual bypassing might have been a practice that might have worked up until now, but now everything is moving so much quicker, things are shifting so much quicker, not just in terms of what the elites have planned for us, because they understand this stuff, okay? They're not, they know about these sun cycles and everything that's happening. And they don't just know it from the physical perspective. They also understand that it's going to affect humans in the internal sense. And so that's why they're also ramping up their plans. And so the way that we need to pay attention to what is happening now is not just by observing what's happening, but really taking charge of the world within us. Because as this magnetic, as the activity of this magnetic field shifts, so will our internal physical activity. And this is something to pay attention to, because you'll notice that during this time, Christ consciousness will be heavily, heavily persecuted. However, during this time, a lot more people will awaken and begin to really see the truth. And by awakening, I mean the true kind of awakening. Well, I begin to really see, what's happening here. It's a spiritual battle. I've said it before, and now it's really intensifying. Okay, we're getting right into we're not just, training now. Now it's coming into the battlefield. So as the climate out there continues to shift, so will the climate within us. For those people who might be suffering from physical diseases, this is actually a time that if you focus on healing, this healing will also magnify. So it's actually a great time to begin leveraging. As I mentioned, if you have things that you've been wanting to bring about in your life, maybe it's simply finding your purpose. Well, as you set those intentions now and you begin it to take small steps They don't have to be huge steps, okay? All it takes is taking that first step and the next one and the next one. What's going to happen that if, let's say, a while ago you took an action and you moved towards something and you got a result, well, right now that result's going to magnify. It goes the other way as well. If, let's say, you are feeling stagnation and you don't really know what you're doing, that's okay. As long as you realize, accept where you are, and you make a choice from within yourself of what you'd want to experience more of. And sometimes it's not about saying, I want this and that. It's not about moving more towards materialism. It's just saying, hey, I'd like more clarity. And if that's you during this time, especially between 2024 and 2026, that activity of clarity will magnify. Again, it's the same thing for chaos. Those that are just in chaos and see no way out of it and want to do nothing about it, that chaos will also magnify and intensify, right? So what's going to happen now, and you're seeing this play out in the physical sense, where there used to be a sort of middle ground that a lot of us, probably a lot of you watching this channel, that we sort of were part of, where we felt, okay, I understand both points of view and I have a sort of sense of balance. Well, you'll notice, because as the sun has this effect on the magnetic pull of planet Earth, you'll see a lot more of this separation. There isn't going to be so much of a middle ground anymore, okay? There's just going to be people who are sort of pulled in one direction or the next. And this isn't necessarily bad, because as we begin to transcend the limitations of the 3D world, and we begin to experience higher levels of consciousness, it's not about leaving 3D, but it's about we find a sense of flow within 3D. And again, this sense of flow is going to intensify. Just like when you first learn how to swim, you're sort of wobbling around, but that as you get better and better, you become a faster and faster swimmer, okay? So now imagine, not only you become a faster swimmer, but now there's a slight current that's actually helping you move quicker. So that's how you'd imagine it. But of course, if you don't know how to swim, that current can also be very dangerous. So this is the key, okay? And this is why I'm beginning to share more and more content with you guys, because this is a very crucial time and we've got to pay attention and we got to stay awake and aware and really begin to heal. Now is not the time to sort of be caught up in spiritual bypassing, though I know it's very, very tempting. Now is the time to pay attention. Now, physically speaking, I talked a little bit about health. This is also going to be a time of people being called to different destinations around planet Earth. I'm seeing this with people that I don't even know, just saying, hey, I'm being called to move away from here. I don't even know why, I don't even know how, but this feels really right. If that's you, know that now's the time to do it. There's a reason you're being called to that, okay? Because and this is the interesting part, and I didn't delve into this in the beginning, but there is a possibility, because of course the sun does affect our satellites. There's a possibility that this event that's going to happen, or one of the solar events that's going to happen, it's going to wipe out electricity and of course the internet and different sources of energy. It's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. If that happens, things are really going to change. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. A lot of people are really focused on, if, stuff hits the fan, like storing food and things like that, which is good and fine. Or living off grid, that's good and fine. The thing is, there's going to be a lot of chaos. So there's a couple of things you need to be aware of. How are you going to protect this place if you are off in the boonies, right? Trust me, I've been shown visions and I know it's not going to be easy. So the most important thing is communities. Bring people together or join communities, because having other people around, like-minded people who are focused, this is going to be the best strategy. And I know it's not easy. As living nomadically, I can definitely relate because I move around so much in different places. However, this is the message I'm being sent, and I listen to it and I'm like, oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna listen, because everything is adding up now. And so take this time to get focused on you, how to really grow yourself into the kind of person that you really feel that you could be. Because even setting that intention, as I mentioned, and taking those little steps, you will be supported. And as you do that, start to think, what community would I like to be a part of? Where is this community? Where can I find it? And sometimes you've just got to ask yourself the right questions, and answers do come. Thank you so much, and be blessed.